All right, good news, everyone. It's my Gamer here with the how to use electricity in 7 Days to Die video. All the tips and tricks I've learned in over 1,000 hours of playing 7 Days to Die. So if you're kind of scared of using the electricity and all the stuff that comes with it, come on with me and I'll show you how to do it. First thing you're going to want to do is you need to get your electronic skills perked up or find stuff along the way. If you go into your skills, crafting skills, go back to the second page over here and down to electrician. This will show you all the electrical stuff you can make and craft. Tier 1 stuff's right there. Tier 2 you unlock the further you go, but I'll show you an example of everything. Starting out with the generator bank, you need to first place it and put it down. It takes gas. It has how much power it can output and how much power is being drawn, so you can refuel it. If I had gas in my pocket, but it's already got gas, we're fine. And without any engines, it can't put any power out. So you shift click and that there, it's gonna take 50 watts now 100 watts. So every engine is 50 watts of power it can produce to a maximum of 300. Then you want to turn it on, fill it up, we're ready to go. Next step is to have your trusty wire snippers. So let's start off with doors. So if you want to power this door, you can see it has a yellow 5 watts, but it stays open. It's just powered. But if we want to switch it open and close, I like these they're pretty good. So you'd have to go, first off, it's just a normal switch. So yeah, there you go. It takes 1 watt. This should have 1 watt drawn. See, 1 watt drawn. Every switch and relay, which we'll get to later, each take 1 watt just to pass the power through it. So for this is a trigger plate. What you can do with it is you can tell it that its default is just instant and triggered. It'll instantly trigger once it's touched, and the power duration is only when it's triggered. So let's show an example of that. So you go from here, and you can see it's gray. So this is 1 watt gray, no power. Oh yeah, I gotta turn that on. Okay, so you turn that on. Now see it's 1 watt yellow. Turn it off. It's got power, so it's yellow. That doesn't have power, so what we want to do is go from here to there. But see, it's still yellow because it's not triggered. And once this is powered, it'll shunt power through it over to there. See, it turned yellow real quickly and opened up. And once you're done stepping on it, it closes. But what if you want it to stay open a little bit longer? You can go here, power duration. I'd say like 5 seconds. The maximum you can go is for always. Once it's triggered, it stays open. Or 60 minutes, and then increments down there. But I'd say like 5 seconds would be good to get through the door. You go through. 5 seconds later, the door will close. There you go. But now we gotta get back through. All right. So one thing you want to plan is before you finish your walls or have a way to get around, is first off, you left click to disconnect something from power. All right, so what you want to do to power doors on both sides is you need to run all the switches or triggers or whatever you're going to use first. And then the last thing you connect to is the door. And see, there you go. This one is, I think, instant and triggered, so it'll close right away. So we can come in, close it. That's going to trigger for 5 seconds since I touched it. And there you go. Now, if you want to, you can also connect more things to all these switches. Say I want these switches to open that door and this. So now every time I touch this trigger plate, everything opens and you can continue further along. But that's doors. And then this is a garage door, very similar. We could do, say, like this. And so everything opens up once we touch this. We're coming out, everything will be there. But the best way to do garage doors, in my opinion, would be, let's see, let's disconnect it. Disconnect that, but I don't want that messing around anymore. Those are fine. And let's see. Oh, there it is, right there. So what we want to do, and another thing is these relays. If you ever want to extend power, because if you go right click, you have a little black wire hanging off you. You can keep going and keep going, and after a certain while, it turns red. You can't connect anymore. It's just you're too far away. So in that case, what you're going to use is these relays, like that one, or we can say use this one right here to power this room. Okay, so then since we're from there, a good way to power the garage doors if you're moving around is motion sensors. And again, you want one on each side. So let's right click in this and let's go to the other side. All right, so both of them are powered up, and you can see that little cone. That's its view range, or its view cone. What you can do is come up to this, and so you only see that when you have your power on, or your wire snippers. You see electrical stuff. You have the electrical power sense. All right, if you go in here, you can have, this is who it targets. Target self, target your allies, target strangers who you haven't friended, or target zombies. So this is usually a friendly thing, so we're gonna leave it as it is there. Same thing, how long do you want it to delay? I want it to power trick instantly once it sees something, me or whatever. And I want it to stay for 5 seconds. And here, camera preview. You click anywhere in this little preview, it brings up, you can look around with your mouse, and you can point where you want it to view. So I want you to only trigger from here. I don't want you to trigger from people walking by the base or on top of the base. I want you to trigger only when someone's leaving the base. And hit escape, you're out. And there we go. Okay, so now we gotta power this thing up. Those... Oh, yeah, the last thing I gotta do is power the garage door from there to there. Now once it sees us, it should open the garage door. And you see the camera points at you. It's pointing down now. Oh, because it lost view of me. We'll see if we can go through here. And it'll open through both sides. Close. I think that other one's triggered for 15 seconds. Another way to do this, which I'm not a big fan of, is you can take the power from here and use this. The trigger plate is just the same as the single one, but just wider. And power it there. So you can do this. It'll open up just fine. Let's go to like 2 seconds. Alright, but see, this is my custom vehicle. If you want to drive through here, look. Vehicles don't trigger this plate. So it's not my ideal solution for ones that you use for garages. My best idea would be use this sensor up there. And then, so this is a drawbridge, very similar concept. It's just same thing as the garage doors. We're going to take here, right click, go to that one, to that motion sensor. And from there to the garage, or the drawbridge. See, there it goes. Now we can get out. But I see I want to trigger this back also to this. So that sees me. You can get disconnected. Now onto lights. So there's this industrial light. There's a couple different lights. There's these normal bulbs. There's this speaker, which I'm not a big fan of, and I'll show you why. Right click and then power it up. It can attract zombies. It can warn you if zombies are coming. There are multiple ways to use this, but I don't like that. Left click, just disable that. And so with this powered switch, we can go from there to this industrial light and power interior lights. Daisy chain if you want to. And that leaves only one connection to the switch, but what happens if you or someone destroys that, the first thing in line, then everything downstream will not work. So another way to do this is right click and attach a single wire to every single one, which this is, not the best thing to do for interior lights. It's good though for defenses though. If something's going to get taken out during horde nights and you want to have everything else stay working, it's best to power everything individually and have this thing protected or far away. And I believe you can use 8 or 9 connections. I have 9 lights here. Let's see how many connections everything can take. There's the 9th connection. Okay, it works. Okay, 9. I don't think it's any more than that. Yep, reach maximum wire connections. So left click to get out of there. So you can have 9 things connected at once. That's lights and sirens. And next, let's go over to defenses. Let's bring power from our generator to here. And we have shotgun auto turrets. We have SMG auto turrets, dart traps, electric fences, blade traps. Oh, and this is a tripwire, another sensor. So let's start with the shotgun auto turret. You right click and power it just like everything else. And it has a similar cone of view, just like the motion sensor. You go into it, You can point where you want it to see, like aim that way, defend that way. You got to put ammo in, make sure it's locked, because when you put ammo in here, you go, okay, I put it in, you got to lock it or it will not shoot. And it starts out targeting zombies and friends, so we'll leave it that way. We might as well test out this SMG at the same time. It's similar. It takes 9mm of any kind, lock the ammo, and you can't see a preview. See that? You can't see a preview because it's not powered up. If you right click and power the line over here, now it has the yellow 15 watts. You can get a preview and aim it right there. Now bring in some zombies, and that was really quick. Let's try this again. Bring in a couple. All right. Let's disconnect these. And let's do dart traps. With these things, let me show you real quickly. You take a power line and power them up. They instantly start shooting. Whoops. They're just like doors. If you power them up, they just open and going right away. So we want to trigger them. Let's take and show you the last set of sensors. This is a tripwire. So you power it up and then you go over to the next one. And with this one, so you want to right click to whatever you want to power, kind of like the switches and the sensors. I want it to trigger this, and this one can also, you know, power this. But if this gets taken out, that one will stop working. This is an example of when you want to just power things individually. This is just an example real quickly. So see, this is a tripwire. You touch it, and it goes off. And you can do the same thing, the delay or the duration. So I want it to shoot for 2 seconds after a zombie passes through here. There you go. Let's disconnect these. Let's show you the electric fences next. This is as similar as that. You right click there, right click and attach it to the end. You guys can get disconnected. And so the power goes to here, to there. And I believe it's powered, yes. There you go. Now everything that comes through will bring a zombie in. Couple girl, there you go, come on girl. Now see, the only one that takes damage, you'd think both of them take damage when someone comes through. There you go, come on girly. Zap, 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 zap. Come back this way. That one's not taking any damage. The one that ends at takes all the damage, see? 196. I hit it, 195. Okay, and then you can do that to, you know, multiple chain them up to stop them coming into your base. It's pretty fun. Let's see, the last one is the blade trap. So you can power it all the time if you want to. But one thing I really like to do is take this and defenses you want to put up to the right here, the motion sensor. Now the motion sensor, when it sees anybody that's zombie, we have to make sure it's set that way. Oh, yep, I already converted it over. It's normally like this, but turn that off if you want for defenses, you want zombies. At least that. I want to shoot for at least 1 second afterwards. Aim coming up my way. There you go. And we'll get out of the way of the blade trap. Oh, it already sees her, so come on in, lady. And goodbye, legs. Welcome to the club. There's also electrical timer relay, which has this little thing on the side, like you've seen the old school timers. What this does, if we come here, disconnect that, go from here to this relay. We're going to say go to, yeah, let's just power these up. Now, with these powered up to the, let's see, timer, this is the start time. This only works from midnight to noon. And what time is it? It's not in those hours. It's 1843. So if we were to put this, see, there you go. These are good for like blood moon timers if you want to at nighttime. Say blood moon starts at 2200 and ends at 4 in the morning. So this would only be active in blood moon hours if you want to, but that's another way to, you know, use a sensor for things to work. There is this, the solar panels, solar banks, and the battery banks. Well, these are interesting. One thing you can do with these, I'm going to get the solar panels and batteries. Solar bank. It has 0 output because you got to put in solar panels, but they're different. These are very expensive, and so is this. Let's see, 17 watts for a tier 1. A tier 2 is 20 watts. Tier 3, you see it's like 3 increments in 3, looks like every, but this is not my way to power things up. You put those in there, you get 144 watts maximum. Not very good. Plus, it only works during the daytime. But one thing it's good to use is these things, battery banks. The number only indicates how long it's going to last. So it's just not, you know, if it's not going to give you more power or anything. But let's see. Well, it might actually have a little bit of an impact. Okay, so I might be wrong. Let's go to there. Let's turn that on. Let's turn this on. Let's see. It's you can hear it humming. It is working. Let's go. Take the solar bank and power this. It'll be working during the day, but at nighttime it won't work. One thing I suggest you do with the solar banks is take one and you can power it into a battery bank, and then the battery bank can then power. Alright, so this will work during the daytime to charge up these batteries, and at nighttime when this isn't working, this will power up all your base, and then the next morning, once this has been partly depleted and the sun comes out, these will start charging your batteries again. That's about the only way that I would recommend using this, because like you can go from there to this, and you can actually multiple these ones together, and then you take from there. So now you'll have 2 backup batteries. So it goes from the solar bank to here to there to your power. Then, you know, you'll have to have batteries in this one as well for it to work. And turn it on. Turned on, turn on, turned on. Now you take this, and I don't know if you can feed 2 into there. Nope, you only feed 1 into there. But that's what you can do with solar banks, and battery banks, my least favorite methods of power. My most favorite is just the simple generator bank. It's quick, simple, easy. You can get engines off a lot of places and scrap them. Gas is aplenty. It's just gotta keep refilling. It's not that bad. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this how to use electronics in 7 Days to Die with from More Chronic Number Gamer. I try to give you some good tips and hints from over 1,000 hours of play in 7 Days to Die. And if you did enjoy this, make sure to like and subscribe for more great content. Thank you everyone for hanging out, and on to catch a side flip.